waking up, they can't stand it. Hit one more time, more damage. Y'all about to shake the whole planet. Who are we, Hebrew planet? Let the thing sink, Titanic. Hit one more time, more damage. Open up the book, read the canons. Find us right there, transatlantic. The brewers waking up, they can't stand it. Y'all about to shake the whole planet. Y'all about to shake the whole planet. Who are we, Hebrew planet? About to take over the whole planet.
I saw that I was just muted just now. Apologize for that, but welcome. Appreciate everybody for tapping in with the congregation of the mighty. I'm Yawitazah. I just appreciate everybody, choosing to be on this channel right now because, I can see a couple of my brothers are live right now. But, this is a good time for me to be live. So I had to come here and share an important message with everyone in light of the news that we've been seeing everywhere. And but first, I just want to say shalom. Shout out to our members. Big shout out to our members. We have a number of new members that have just joined. I'm really grateful to you all. We got Brother Ray in the building right now. He's a member. Really appreciate you, brother, for supporting the work and the efforts. And we also have Sister Corey in the building. That sister's doing a lot of great work behind the scenes, trying to make sure that we have some fantastic music that is promoting, community building, with our One Love, 1 Million Strong project that we have pushed into next year. So that sister's doing some fantastic work, trying to make sure that we have, some bangers, you know what I mean? So of course, I am on some of those. I've been wanting to put some of them songs out. I've been wanting to put them on this here broadcast, but that's not the right thing to do. So, and we also have Sister Faith. Faith always wins. If you don't know where that saying comes from, you should go take a look at our giveaways and our One Love, 1 Million Strong projects that we had a lot of fun doing. And Sister Faith just seems like she always wins with that. So we appreciate you, Sister Faith, for your continued support. And I want to say shalom to all the rest of you who are just watching currently. And you may be wondering, what's going on, as far as some things that you may have been hearing. Some things that you may have been hearing that is a concern to you, which it should be, because the things that you all are concerned about are things I've been concerned about for years. For years, family. Okay? And, I want to get straight into this here topic, which is a hot topic right now on YouTube, which I call YouTube the modern day mega church. Yeah, that's right. The modern day mega church is on YouTube. And the modern day collection plate, man, it's the Cash Apps, it's the Patreons, it's the subscribe here and all this kind of stuff, the monetization. I mean, it's just, increasingly, this here is the space for a lot of predators. I'm going to just say it just straight like that. A lot of predators that are seeking to utilize this platform to reach masses of people and giving them information that they know that the people definitely want to hear. They know that the people are going to be moved by. And this here then also in turns open up the purses of the people, and the people then take the money out of their purses and put them into the digital collection plates, and that their YouTuber, which previously could have been a mega church pastor themselves, some type of preacher, cult leader, who knows, you know what I'm saying, where these people's actual background came from. But that's what we have been seeing out there, and they get onto YouTube and people open up their purses after they, eloquently say all of these different things. And, that goes right onto that digital collection plate, straight into the pockets of those leaders, right? Lacing their pockets to do various things, buy various things that none of us can afford, of course. And, ultimately, they use the word of God in a lot of ways, or some other spirituality that they may be a part of, to fleece the flock. And, it is really sad because this here particular thing that all of us have grown to hate, you know what I mean? Those of you that have not wanted to be a part of a church community, because that is what you see. You see these mega church pastors out there flying Lear jets in their multi-million-dollar houses, their lavish cars, and they're living the life of the rich and famous. This is not something that we ever wanted to deal with. And I'm talking about a lot of the ones that were born, I would say, between the 70s and the 2000s. Like, we're not doing that. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not going to sit here and allow this preacher, pastor, deacon, or whatever, deaconess, or whatever they want to call themselves, prophet, prophetess. We're not about to lace your pockets up, player. Nah, player, you walking around hopping out your Benz with rings on your finger. Hey, how's it going? Blessings be unto you. Nah, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being a little bit funny because this is the reason why I got away from the church. Okay. But I have to say, and I know that this is going to be offensive to some. And you know what, family? I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just stating the obvious. The individuals that we were giving this money to, number one, where did we want to see that money go? We wanted to see that money go, first of all, towards the building efforts of the church. We wanted to see that money go towards those that are laborers within that environment. That that there are people that are laborers within that environment that are keeping things up. I don't want to see Sister Rose, who 80 something years old, she in there working in the church and living off of a retirement fund. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see her struggling and not knowing what she's going to eat. Here go my tithe. Make sure Sister Rose is good. Make sure the pastor is good. Make sure everybody's good according to their means, of course. Okay? And we also wanted to be able to see that members of the church that may be struggling in some way, maybe my tithe can actually help them. I don't want to see this here sister or brother or that baby there hungry or maybe getting evicted out of their home. You see what I'm saying? Like, where's the tithe money? Let's make sure that to help this sister and this brother out, this baby out. Okay? So when I say this, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just stating the obvious things that we all intended to see money go towards. Okay. Also, we wanted to be able to see money go towards improvement of our surrounding community. That's why we was tithing. And we knew that was a good thing to do. And that is what God put on our hearts to do, because we need to be charitable. That is just being a good human being at the end of the day. Okay. But not ever have we been sending money. Not ever have we been giving money to the church just to lace the pockets of the magnificent speaker. Nah, that was never in the plan until YouTube came. Until YouTube came. Now, every single person out there that ever wanted to be a preacher, or that ever wanted to speak the good news, or that ever wanted to even talk to people and get them going, now they collecting money, and guess where that money goes? Straight into their pockets. It don't go towards no building efforts. It don't go towards no charitable efforts. It don't go towards anything but straight into the pockets of the people, and under the idea of I'm supporting this content creator. No, actually what you're doing is you're supporting a potential mega church preacher to some degree. That's what you're doing. And somehow under the umbrella of YouTube, everybody's okay with it. Everybody's okay with it. So we got a lot of mega church pastors that have went to YouTube and they're able to collect unseemly amounts of money through YouTube monetization. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we also have people that have come onto YouTube having similar conversations, and them too are able to collect unseemly amounts of money, and all that money goes directly into their pockets, because most of the people that are sending Cashapps, that are doing super chats, that are doing Patreons, that's doing all these various payments, they're making those payments because I want to support that content creator. I like what they're talking about. But damn, is what they're talking about at least important enough to maybe put some type of financial backing towards it, like actually building us a community so we're not living in the slums? I mean, damn, is any of the YouTubers going to start building communities? And that's why I said I don't want to be offensive, because I got brothers, good brothers, that are on YouTube doing tremendous work. They are sharing this here message with the people, and they deserve to be taken care of. But us, the people, also deserve that. If you're going to be talking about these problems, can you start helping to bring forward some solutions? Okay. And it seems as though when you start saying that enough, like myself, years ago, I just kept saying it. I don't want to be a part of no church that don't even clean up the community right outside of the church. I don't want to be a part of a church that don't feed the people that's right outside of the church. I don't want to be a part of a church that don't do anything for the people. I want to see who is the Most High actually with. That's because when you see that, you're going to know them by their fruits. I want to see who is the church that Yah is actually with, because you're going to know them by their fruits. Why? Because they're going to be doing beautiful things around their surroundings, and people's lives are going to be improved because of the work that they're doing, the charitable efforts that they're doing. Oh, yeah. And so when I see people collecting money and talking about the problems that I've been working most of my career to fight against, and I see that you are a great orator talking about these problems and you are collecting money, well, when you going to start putting that towards some of the solution? Because I'm out here on the grassroots with the people, helping people. I've been doing that for years. Now there are people out there that have done way more than me, and I'm a person that is just like, you know what? How can I improve the work that they're doing? Because there's some amazing people out there that are tremendous when it comes down to being those that are going to give to others, those that are going to uplift one another, uplift others monetarily, put food in the bellies, being the true definition of charitable, which equals love. So I just said, well, it's not going to really help if I'm just standing on the street handing out sandwiches with that person. I want to figure out how to make sure that we can hand out sandwiches to the masses. So when you are like myself, you're always trying to figure out ways to improve on what somebody else is already doing good and how you can even help more people. So the more I talked about this, I landed myself in the space in which I'm at now. Now I'm on damn YouTube. How did I get here? How did I, Yawitazah, end up on YouTube? Am I too one of these people that are great orators and now is to become one of the mega church pastors of YouTube? Nah, man, I never wanted any of this. All I wanted to do was see our people come together and finally start addressing the issues that we really see. And so that turned into a lot of, I'm gonna just put it straight up to y'all. It turned into a lot of pain and headache of me fighting for what you all hear me talk about. I am not, by a long shot, just an advocate, family. I do not support the idea of advocacy being the solution. I am very much so in support of activism. I am very much in support of activism, actively getting the job done. And what I continue to do, which many that have given to, the short time that I've been here, many people that have given here, you all know that we do a lot to help people. We have our online food pantry, which is AHRS, okay, .life. We have the land development that we've been working on, and that's what we really here to talk about. Because when I started to see that we didn't have any communities, but we got a church on every corner, it enraged me. It enraged me that the community that I grew up in, as a kid, man, we didn't have nothing, yo. Our playground was trash. That we ain't have basketball courts. We had milk crates that we would put on the light post and play basketball outside in the street and watch out for cars coming. Many kids didn't have socks and barely had clothes like that. You understand? So, but there's a church. There's at least 4 churches within the 3-mile radius of where I lived at. Why? Why don't we got nothing? Why is my community like trash like this? Why in the world would a boy like myself when I was a kid growing up in Philadelphia? Why did I have to eat from the government? Why did I have to eat government cheese, government peanut butter, government bread? Why did I have to eat that stuff? Why did the government have to come and drop off lunches to feed us? And you know where they would drop it off at? They would drop it off at the churches. Why in the world didn't the churches have no sort of resources to make sure that we ate on a consistent basis and not just on Sundays when you go to Sunday school and they had the soul food down in the basement? Why did they have to depend on the government to make sure that all of us ate? And my family was going to the church that I went to as a kid. My family was going to them for generations. My grandma went there. My great grandma went there. Come on with it. Y'all can't help make a difference here. So as I got older, I started to see all the churches were like that. Learning that I was an Israelite, I thought things were going to be different. I really did. I was already doing public work, making sure that our kids had quality education so they can actually have a fighting chance because nobody else give a damn about you, especially these churches. They'll give you a good word and they're going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. No, you could do something for me now. How about give my family a couple dollars so we can eat, so we don't get evicted? No, when I came into this walk as an Israelite, I learned that the Israelite community much so works the same exact way, family. I hate to say it. I will say, within this community, I have seen numbers of people attempt to build what they call Goshens. And what a Goshen is, if you don't know, is something, it's a passage in the Bible where Israel gets to stay hidden away for a time, and they're protected. They got their own food, their housing, and things like that, for a time in a tribulation. But what I started to learn was, some of our brothers is really bugged out. I'm going to repeat that. And if somebody here feel offended, it is what it is. We got brothers out there that are bugged out. Crazy. You understand what I'm saying? The things that I heard come out of when I first got into this walk, I've heard men say things out of their mouth I would have thought I'd never hear coming out of somebody that got the truth. I heard men say that, you know what? God is going to take us into the wilderness. And when we get out there into the wilderness, then we ain't going to be living in Babylon. And if anybody get out of line, we going to stone them. I said, what? Oh yeah, nah, y'all got this game messed up. Not only do we gotta worry about these devils coming and kill us here, but now you gonna take me out in the wilderness and stone me because I'm doing something that you don't find approval of? And who told you to do that? God talked to you and told you to come and stone me? Yeah, nah, player. It's gonna be a whole lot of stones being thrown that day. Oh, I can guarantee you that. When I heard that, man, I couldn't believe it. I went to the deacon of the Israelite camp that I had once upon a time been a part of for a short span of time, and I told him what I heard. He was disappointed but only he was disappointed that I heard it. And, I feel as though, and I can't really speak for him, but I feel as though that in his mind, he felt like if I understood more, then I wouldn't have felt offended about what I heard. And so I got more quiet and started observing more. I started observing and listening to what these brothers is talking about. And what I had come to the conclusion of, what led me to leave that camp, is that the ones that are in leadership and the ones that are following those in leadership, many of them have, if you feel offended, it is what it is. Okay. This is what I've observed. Many of them have a God complex. That's right. Many of them feel as though the Almighty Yah is speaking directly to them, and it is their job to cast out judgment amongst the people. I hope y'all rocking with me, family. Please put a 1 in the chat if you still with me and you still with this here conversation. Put a 1 in the chat. Nation over religion conversation. We coming in hot, family. We coming in hot because I'm about to lay this whole thing to rest. I'm not coming to play today. Yeah, because you know, I'm paying attention to what's going on. I'm that guy that observing. I'm just watching how people are moving out here. Yeah, I'm watching. Now what I need to do is I need to pull up a comment that someone left me giving me his concerns about some of the things that we've been seeing in this world of YouTube. And I'm gonna say to that brother that left this message, brother, I understand and I agree. I understand and I agree. But before I get to that message, and I see that the ones have been coming in, before I get to that message, I'm going to continue on this here conversation of the things that I have observed in this here community. A lot of brothers and sisters that I love dearly within this community. I really love my people, man. I really do. Because why am I doing this, man? Why am I doing this? It definitely ain't for no money. Not for the 3 cents that I'm getting from some YouTube. I don't care about none of that. I've been doing this for years for free. I have never asked for a penny for the things that I'm doing unless I was actually suffering myself. And I've been Yawitazah, been in cases where I was suffering and didn't have a dime to be able to take care of my family through the work that I was doing. I've given this testimony before. So, one moment. So, what I've been watching and what I've been seeing, I have gotten to a place of recognizing that, you know what? I don't really think these brothers in our community really want to see a community where we can all sort of just live peacefully and not have to worry for a time. I mean, we understand that we're in captivity, this, that, and the other. What I instead saw is that a lot of these brothers, and I can't say all of them because I don't know all of them. So don't come in the comment section and start telling me, oh, everybody not like that. I already know that. I'm telling you what I've seen. And the vast majority of the people within this community, bro, they be on some God complex, man. They want to be the leader. They want to be the leader. They want to be the one God is talking directly to. They want to be the king. I done heard brothers coming forward saying that they every sort of king that you done read about in the Bible. People coming forward telling me they straight up the biblical character himself. I'm not making this up. I am not making this up, bro. I'm like, you who again? Oh, okay. Well, listen, can you use some of your biblical powers to get us out of this captivity, sir? Can you use some of your biblical powers to help us build this community up, sir? No, you can't. Why? Why you can't do that? Oh, because you need me to give you my money to do it. But you King David, ain't you? Ain't you the prophet Elijah, you the prophet Jeremiah, right? You who you are again? Like, why can't you do none of this stuff? Why? Because you in captivity just like me here. You in captivity just like me here, trying to figure out where your next meal is coming from. Oh yeah, I done seen it all, family. And listen, I don't want to even blow up people's spot for real like that. Because if you even heard from the people that I've heard from, man, you would be disgusted. And I'm trying to pull up this comment that this brother had left me. And I feel bad because, like, I want to make sure to show the brother's comment. And this YouTube, man, this YouTube be hiding stuff from you. Be hiding like certain messages that you get. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. And for those of y'all who just tapping in, just want to let y'all know, I've been in this community just like y'all, trying to figure out what's really going on. And I stayed quiet for years. I stayed quiet and watched for years. I wasn't one of them dudes that just learned that he was an Israelite and then start hopping on YouTube or TikTok and Instagram. I listened. I went and studied, family. For years, I studied. I studied. I listened to them. I listened to all of them talk. Okay? I paid attention. I was trying to figure out, okay, is this really the right place for me? Oh, I get that we Israelites, but is this here the right place for me being around people like you? Like, I get it, you my brother and all, but Cain killed his own brother. So I don't want to hear we brothers stuff. I don't want to hear none of that. Okay? So I'm keeping it a buck with y'all, family. No, absolutely not. We not going to be over here playing religion with these sick, twisted, crazy ninjas. No. Y'all can have that religion, bro. And you know why I say that? Because the Most High didn't give us no religion. The Most High didn't give us a religion. He gave us a nation. And if I had my clapping in the background, I'll be clapping on that right now. He gave us a nation. He said he's going to deliver a nation out of the captivity, not a religion. And I've heard way too many Israelites. Y'all been out there telling people, oh no, we're not a religion. This is our culture. This is who we are. We're not a religion. And so it really baffles me. It really baffles me when I see our people still acting so daggone religious. It really baffles me. And I just want to make sure I share with y'all, some of this stuff that I want y'all to see. Because there's some things happening in this community that is really saddening to me, but I'm not surprised. And I want to get straight into it, man. I don't want to like beat around the bush too much longer. This is what's going on, family. If you haven't heard about it, you have a church group out there. It's called Strait Way Ministries. And I don't know those brothers, man. I don't know those brothers. You know what I'm saying? I can only imagine that those brothers are doing the best of what they know how to do. I don't know. But Strait Way Ministries is led by a man named Pastor Dow, who goes by Pastor Dow. And the reason why people are talking about them in this moment is because Recently, one of the leaders that was elected to be a leader within the church had been removed and given a 30-day notice to remove from himself and I guess all his things and family. And I say I guess because I don't know all the actual details. You know, I just know what I'm hearing from platforms like Ringo TV. And he's been bringing a lot of receipts. Brother Ringo has been covering this for the last couple of days. And I'm going to share my screen so that you all can see what I'm talking about. I mean, this brother has been going in for the last couple of days covering Pastor Dow and the things that's been going on within his church. Okay. And I'm just going to read some of the headlines that we got here. Pastor Dow caught fleecing the poor worse than Creflo Dollar. Give me your whole check is what is says the rest of this here. Okay. That's major to even accuse somebody of. And I did watch this stream, not the whole thing. As you can see, that is a 6-hour stream, family. I couldn't watch the whole thing, man. Listen, it was 2 and 3 in the morning, man. But he did a 5-hour stream just about right here where the headline says Pastor Dow, the most dangerous pastor in America. And it goes on to say wolf in sheep's clothing exposed. Yeah. And then also he has this other one here. Ringo openly rebuked Pastor Dow. And the reason why he's putting it that way about the open rebuke is because this is someone that Ringo had supported for a number of years. He really admired the work that Pastor Dow was doing, which we'll get into in just a moment. And then he has another video here 5 days ago, Pastor Dow versus Pastor Rufus, public feud causing great division. And it goes on to say, and confusion, my thoughts. So it started out with Ringo giving his thoughts on the feud that was between these here two leaders within their church, which is called Strait Way Ministries. Some of you may know about that. I've actually learned about Strait Way Ministries and not so much Pastor Dow. I heard of Pastor Dow years ago. And at that time, Pastor Dow was a guy that used to get on like Facebook, and he would talk a lot about various things. But one of the things that stood out the most is that he had a number of wives, and so that's all I knew about Pastor Dow from years ago when I first got into this walk. And at that time I was just trying to just learn who I am, and just learn this here Bible all over again. I didn't have time to sit there and listen to a brother talk about why you got so many wives. I had time for that. I needed to learn about my salvation. And so, so that's when I heard about Pastor Dow, and I didn't look anything more into Pastor Dow until brothers started coming forward and saying, hey, you're trying to do a community, and Pastor Dow got a community too. He got successful communities. And I said, oh, okay, that's good to know. I'm glad somebody else is out here building communities. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm hearing pastor and communities in the same sentence. And I didn't want to speak on that, but I could just continue to mind my business and go ahead about talking about us as a nation building communities. And we're going to get into the differences between the two in just a moment, because there is starkly different missions between the two. Okay. But yeah, this is what's going on in YouTube streets, as they would say. And, the pastor that was elected and then kicked off of the out of the church and out of the community and given a 30-day notice. His name is Pastor Rufus. And I see somebody in here says, Woke Yosef says Pastor Rufus was stealing money. Okay. And so, hey, this you hear it from Woke Yosef. You didn't hear that from me because I don't know. And honestly, I don't get caught up in church. All the problems with church. I mean, I just don't. And there's a number of reasons why. But some of this here stuff has started to spill over into conversations about nation and community building. And so now I have to speak on this because people are concerned. People are concerned and they wondering, hey, am I going to just get kicked out if I come over there and support you all with the work y'all doing with Unlimited Potential Farms? Am I going to get kicked out on the street, giving a 30-day notice? Because one of the leaders, the church leaders over there, have a problem with me. Oh man, it's honestly, it is a sincere and legitimate question, but it is, and I don't blame anybody for coming with ignorance and being ignorant to what actually is. Only time I blame you for ignorance is when you don't take the time to actually go and figure out what's actually going on. Which I want to commend this here brother for reaching out and asking his sincere question and coming straight to the horse's mouth, because we're going to get into this whole land conversation. Okay. We're going to get into this whole land conversation and why is there even a Unlimited Potential Farms? How did I get involved in this Unlimited Potential Farms land? And what does the United Nation of Yisrael have to do with any of that? Okay. We're going to get into all of that, but let's read this here brother's message. It says, what's the approach that the United Nation of Yisrael is taking in terms of how things would be ran in the community? The community that he is talking about is the 115 acres of land that we have in North Carolina. Now, when I say we, I'm saying that very loosely because the land doesn't belong to some corporation, some business, some church, some entity. It belongs to the people. And we're going to get into that. But this is the question that he is asking and from his understanding. Okay. He said, I'm even more reluctant to group up to build a live sustainably cause. There is many deceivers and opportunists out there. I heard about Pastor Dowell and he's been exposed as a cult leader. I don't want to be a part of a community where there's some head who runs it like a dictatorship and is above reproach like Dowell or any cult leader is. One thing I don't want to leave this matrix just to enter into another matrix. So how is the system ran? And is there a leader or hierarchy? Fantastic question. And you got to excuse me, brother. I appreciate the question. I just get annoyed, and that's just Most High still working on me, man. I get annoyed because I have been working my tail off, man, to get our people out of the paradigm of religion because it's a scam. It's a scam. The Bible has nothing to do with your religion. It has nothing to do with Pastor Dowell's religion. It has nothing to do with all of these bugged out Israelites' religion. And I'm not saying that despairingly to my brothers. I'm saying that some of my brothers are really bugged out. It's true. They know they bugged out. And then many people will say that about them as well. The Bible has nothing to do with anybody's religion. And so when people come to me and asking me about a religious community and a community that is, is focused on nation, and you are the nation, it just settles wrong with me. So I'm going to get myself together before I speak on this here matter. Now, before I do, I need to highlight some of the things that has taken place that got people upset. Some people are very upset, man. And I'm going to go to Brother Ringo Reactions channel and highlight some of the things that are going on. Okay. Now, before I do that, though, I'm already seeing people in the chat going back and forward about Pastor Rufus and whether or not he stole money or family. Please don't argue about this right now. Don't. And you're going to see why in a minute. Please have patience, family. You're going to see why in a minute. You're going to see why in a minute that you don't have to argue about whether or not Pastor Rufus stole money or he was, that Pastor Dow did something wrong, because you're going to get to start to see that the whole thing is just flawed. The whole thing is flawed. And listen, before I go too far in my statement of saying that the whole thing is flawed, I have to say that, man, I give it to the brothers, man. I give it to the brothers. They did what a lot of people have not been able to do, including myself. But I've only been at this for the last, as far as the land is concerned, for the last 2 years. Okay. I don't got as much skin in the game as those brothers got. So I commend those brothers for getting as far as they have. But, when you have the type of structure that they have, it's bound to fail. And it's bound to get into the issues that you see amongst that community right now. Money is always going to end up being a factor in the issue because the system is broken. I just need y'all to understand, and I'm going to explain that further. But and I don't have a whole lot of time to be on here. I just need to be able to address this. But I'm going to go to my brother's video, and I want to say fair use. Brother Ringo probably don't really know me like that. Brother Ringo, please don't strike my video, bro. I just want to show the people what you're talking about and why people are so upset. I love the stream that you did, and but fair use as usual, right? And this is his video where he talks about Pastor Dow caught fleecing the flock. So I'm gonna play some of what he talked about.
You can literally build up enough money to go do your own thing, but yet you want to be up under a man that's he takes your paycheck and then decide what he want to give back to you. What kind of nonsense is this, man? This is bondage. This is bondage, y'all. But he said, if you in New York, you in the slums with the rats. But yet he's out here pimping the people, taking their money. But yet the people can't tell him nothing. So let me get this straight. You can take my money, you can take my paycheck.
Oh man, don't start with that. Don't start with that. We just getting into it.
But if I say, yo, Dow, I think you're a false prophet. I think you misleading the people. I think you're disrespecting the brothers. Then all of a sudden now, what comes next? I get kicked out of the community like Rufus, even though I invested. Are y'all seeing the connection here? So that means if you're a part of Strait Way and you invested money by giving your paychecks, they still have the right to kick you out. They still have the right to kick you out.
And when you understand by what means they have this right to kick you out, you start to understand that it's really under the paradigm of religion, which is the problem. That's the problem. Where the contracts at? Where the paperwork at? Where the trust at? I'm talking about documents. And that's what this brother's breaking down. So let's go ahead and continue.
Come on now. They still have the right to kick you out if they feel you are disrespecting the slave master.
He's talking about Pastor Dow being the slave master in this case.
That's crazy, man. Absolutely sad, fam. But this is the culture that we live in. This is the culture that we live in because nobody's paying attention to what's really going on. Again, listen to the tapes. Let the tapes do what it got to do. Listen carefully. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on a second.
And I understand.
Hold on.
And man, that you probably still pissed off on the way that Creflo Dollar used to do you because you used to chase him around all over the United States of America, man.
That's him.
So let me just try to see what we can get to the portion of this video that was, it was definitely disturbing.
Getting all the credit, like he out here doing, baby, go quit your job. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of you, baby. You know how it is. She's going to look at you like a...
Since 2019.
Hold on, just hold tight, family, because this video, it was like, man, ooh, that's something. Now, I don't know the full context of this here, but in any way, I just don't understand how we get to this.
It's for filthy lucre.
Was
Why
about
you
to
out
be
here
shown
with unforgiveness? He's going to rebuke you. You don't want to hear nothing about me doing no video. You don't even supposed to be worrying about me. You're supposed to be out here being a pastor.
All right,
remember?
we almost there. We almost
Saving
there. Hold
souls,
tight.
remember? Not worrying about what I'm saying. Do you understand me? Let's get back to these tapes. Let's go. This is for edification, fam. Pastor Dow caught fleecing the flock worse than Creflo Dollar. These are facts.
Bro, Victor.
Yes, sir.
How long you been working off the land when you went back on the job? How long have you been working off the land?
How long you been working off the land? Let's go.
The job I'm at now, I've been working there since 2019, 2020. Before that, I stopped working a year because you told me to stop working.
Hold up. Wait. I stopped working because you told me stop working.
Wow.
He said he stopped working because the man told him to stop working.
Wow.
Fam, the only way I'm stopping the work is if I'm getting a check from you now. Meaning, I'll stop the 9 to 5.
I want to just speed this up.
If I stop the 9 to 5 to work in the community, that money better be coming right back to me from you. I'm not stopping what I got to do. I got family to take care of.
Yeah.
I got a lifestyle.
We're going to speed it up.
But I'm going to stop what I'm doing so I can give my time to you. Now, I wasn't raised like that. I was not raised like that, fam. That's crazy. That's like telling a modern woman to go quit her job because you're going to provide for her in 2024. These women ain't quitting no job. It doesn't matter how much she like you. You tell a modern woman in 2024, be to him a usury.
Man, can we stop with the with the buffering? Come on, man.
Usurer.
Yeah, here we go.
Neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. He using the people for lucre's sake, Ringo, bringing them receipts. Yeah, I know what he's doing. Because the people are still under bondage.
Right, I just want to get to this one part.
It looks like they're really
I'm gonna have to go to the beginning.
I stopped working a year because you told me to stop working. Hallelujah. I was working a job maybe about a year. So altogether, maybe about 5 years with a year break in between.
Okay. All right. So you just gave me an offering yesterday, or a couple of days ago.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Your whole paycheck?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Did you get any back?
No, sir.
No, you didn't. Now,
all right. So that right there was the part that I just wanted to get to. I just needed people to see that part of the video because that was what Ringo played throughout this particular stream and critiqued throughout this stream, is where this here brother was getting a paycheck and will give his entire paycheck to Pastor Dow. And he would do that every other week. Yeah. I mean, everybody in the chat right now is probably thinking like, yo, what? Just like the video showed. Okay. And there was a number of other people that are giving Pastor Dow large lump sums of money. And then he gives them back a couple of dollars, you know, to the way that he see fit. Now listen, that's those people in their prerogative, man. Listen, ain't no way in the world I'm giving nobody my check. Ain't no way in the world. But what happens in the church community, man, it's like what won't people do in a church environment? What won't people do in the church environment? I've seen stories where people gave away their whole entire house. They sold everything they had and gave that to a church. So, I mean, this right here, I mean, this is definitely a new level that I've seen within the Israelite community. This is a new level. I haven't seen this level. I have not heard of someone giving their entire paycheck to a pastor. I don't know the context of this at all, but any context will never include me giving somebody my whole check, ever. Ever. Nah. But in a church environment, if you are going to start attending a church environment and getting under this leadership there, and because you believe that they're giving you the proper guidance and instruction, and that there's no way that you can properly guide and instruct your own life according to the Bible or whatever religious book that you are a part of, you get into a mindset of believing that this here person is pretty much your salvation and getting through to whatever level of success that you're trying to get to, or whatever it is. Showing your loyalty is just like, you going to see people do some really strange things, like giving away their whole entire check. We have seen this in religion. We have seen this in religion all day. We've seen this in religion. And often we see this in what we consider to be cults. Cults. And for this community, what I call this is the Hebrew Israelite sunken place. It's when it's like that movie Get Out. You know that movie Get Out where the guy sits down in a chair and the mom is sitting there and she's stirring the cup of tea. She just stirring and it just clink, clink. clink, and he going into deeper and deeper hypnosis. And then he just sinks all the way down, and she got his mind at that moment. He not in no more control. And then there were, you remember in that movie Get Out, all of those other black people, so-called black people, was in a sunken place, right? And their mind was completely gone and hijacked. That's what I see going on in cults. That's what I see going on within people that proclaim to be Hebrew Israelites. And when I say proclaim, is they have to go out here and let everybody, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, instead of just being an Israelite. Instead of just being a Hebrew Israelite, just be that. I mean, listen, I understand we're going to have to go out here and we're going to have to wake people up. But I would say that the way in which people are going about this, you know, that's the way they choose to go about it. And hey, you know, if that works for y'all within your religion, then you know, so be it, because I guess that's just the way churches operate. But yeah, no, we ain't on that, bro. We ain't on that over here. And I want to just, I'm trying to gather my thoughts together to really share this to y'all properly. What you are all seeing is exactly what religion produces. You are seeing a people that have been in captivity for over 400 years and do not have a track record for over 400 years of leading anything. You are seeing a people that have a track record for over 400 years that have not have a track record of operating a nation. I want you to know what that does to the minds of some of these men out here that thirst for power and respect. The very thing that was taken away from them by Yah and got us in this predicament to begin with. That thirst for power, respect, and the ideal of needing to be acknowledged or praised, that still exists within a lot of men and women within this movement. But guess what? We have zero track record of leading a nation. We haven't been able to do that because we've been in captivity. Now, we do have a track record of building nations, but we build it for other people in our captivity. You understand? Follow along with me, right? Y'all following along, right? So now you got men that just, they need to be able to be men. They like, yo, I'm a man. And then also too, they have read throughout and scoured throughout this book, and they see an ancient system that our ancestors have, and they choose to try to recreate that. Mind you, they're choosing to recreate a system where our ancient ancestors actually had land that they controlled. They was under, our ancient ancestors not only had land, but they had the ability to call shots. They had the ability to see something that they wanted in another land and say, you know what, we're going to go into that land and wage war over there. They had the laws that was given to them by the Almighty Yah and further expanded on by Moses. These were men. They say, okay, we got all this land. We got these people that we got to lead over. We're going to have have these laws into place. And if you don't follow these laws, then you're going to have these judgments. And the judgments it was no different than how you see judgments go on here in this here land in the United States. You break their laws in the United States, what's going to happen? You either going to end up in jail, you're going to end up cited, they're going to end up taking something away from you or even taking your life. Correct? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying and y'all agree that if you break the laws of the land here in United States, China, Russia, or any other place where those nations operate, that they got judgments that will go against you and that leads to death, imprisonment, taking something away from you. Come on, follow me, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all know that that exists. Our ancient ancestors had that same level of power. Come on, I'm waiting for them ones. I see Brother Ray, he paying attention. Sister Faith. Deja. Yep, the ones is coming in. Okay. I need y'all to really follow me for a moment. I want you to see the psychology behind all of this right now. You see, our ancestors had the same level of power and ability to call the shots as Russian leaders, as Chinese leaders, as Indian leaders, as European leaders. They had the same level of autonomy. And not only did we have that level of autonomy, but we also had the backing of the power of the Almighty Yah on our side, so that if we did go to war with anybody, we was going to win hands down. But we didn't follow our laws. And I'm talking about the men in ancient times that were in leadership. They didn't follow their laws, and they hated the statutes, the ways in which you were supposed to follow a law. That's what a statute is. The way in which you're supposed to follow this law, the specific details of that law. They hated that. Our ancient ancestors, they didn't love the statutes. And they didn't follow the commandments. And they hated the judgment. Oh, nah, see, you know what? I'm not going to do that there judgment. That ain't necessary. No, according to what was written, y'all supposed to keep those judgments, but we didn't do that. And what was the punishment for that? The Almighty Yah says, since you can't follow none of that, then I'm going to put you under the laws and the judgments of another nation. And here we are today. Here we are today. Now today, if you see somebody worshiping another god, what was the punishment in the Bible for that? What was the punishment in the Bible if you were to worship another god? What was the judgment? Was it not death? Yeah. You see, there was a lot of judgments in the Bible that if you didn't follow that law, it was going to lead to death. But don't we see people in America worshiping other gods? Anybody stoning them to death for that? No. You know why? Because you're no longer under the same rulership anymore. You are under another nation's rulership, and the Almighty Yah stripped away from us all of our whole entire system as a nation, which included our laws, our statutes, commandments, and judgments. We don't have any control over any of that anymore. We have to answer to another man. And so a lot of men, in particular, so-called black men who are Israelites, they got a bit of a power trip because they understand this Bible and they feel like, you know what, yo, we just going to create our own little religious space, put everybody under us, and we going to hold everybody to this old way that our ancestors lived, even though we're under the captivity of our oppressors. And that we can't cast no judgment on nobody here, because you will go to jail, sir. People out here all day long. You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We got to get back to the law, statutes, and commandments. All day long, right? But they don't ever mention the judgments. They don't never mention the judgments. You know why they don't mention those judgments? The reason why they don't mention those judgments, family, is because they know that they can't do none of that. Now they can go somewhere and hide in the wilderness in secrecy and try to do some of that, but they really can't do that. So now, family, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up this here broadcast, and I'm going to come back to y'all in just a bit and go further with this. Stay tuned, family. Stay tuned. I'll see y'all in another 15 minutes. I'll talk to y'all another 15 minutes. We're going to wrap up this conversation.